top down here. God only knows what you've been through. I bet you said that once or twice. Hey, good morning. It is episode 1422, 1422. My name is Sean Murphy. I will be your international speaker and host and mind bender and mind scrambler. Look at all of these people I get to say good morning to. Wave, wave, wave. You get the little hand. We're going to have a conversation about top-down thinking. Top-down thinking. And we'll also include some bottom-up thinking conversation. So let me ask you this. When you are faced with a problem, do you dive in and want to know all of the details? Oops, let me take that off here so you guys can see me. Da-da-da! Silly goober head. And I'm taking that's muted. Nope, there it is. Get that. I get to say good morning to wave, wave, wave. I will show up in just a second on your screen. I have my cover on. So here we go. Top-down thinking, bottom-up thinking. Which do you do? You're faced with a problem. A problem pops into your lap, and all of a sudden, you want to turn it into a project. Your problem becomes a project. And all of a sudden, you've got to start working on something. You got to start figuring something out. So let me ask you, do you go into the details? Do you go into the details of the conversation? Or do you wind up going into visionary mode? Do you wind up going into solution, big problem, big solution kind of mindset? That's the question I have for you. And why did my camera just go off again? And now my camera's not coming on. Hey, everybody, I'm there. Why is my camera not on? That's crazy. So, hey, listen, Murphy's Law over on the VIP side of the conversation. Yeah, I know it's good on IG, but in the VIP on Zoom, my camera's not wanting to turn back on and the light's on and everything else. So we'll figure it out. We'll just keep going. Hey, listen, bottom up or top down thinking. Top down thinking is I'm going, baby. Bottom up is going to be, well, let me just stop and let me mess up the whole conversation so that I can figure out what the camera's doing wrong. Camera's not working, baby. Camera's not working. So you're going to get to hear me on Zoom. So I get to look right here till that pops back on. This all happening because, listen carefully, top down thinking, visionary, bottom up thinking. What's the problem? What's the solution? What pen do I need to use to write down my goals? That's bottom up thinking. Top down thinking is, what island do I want to own as I achieve my greatness? So think about this. Top down thinking, most people are not there. Bottom up thinking, most people get stuck in bottom up thinking. They get stuck in what Tony Robbins calls the tyranny of how. If you are asking how, you are in bottom up thinking. If you are saying state, what state would best serve me to come up with the most powerful, efficient solution for this challenge? That's top down. So I'm going to make a bold, crazy, wild statement that's probably not true. About 90% of the population is stuck in bottom-up thinking. Now, sometimes bottom-up thinking is necessary. The reality is that you are using your past to solve your future problems. Does that make sense? You are using your past to solve your future problems. So if that's the case, if that's the conversation, if that's the understanding, then what's the reality? What's the reality of your success? Is it how success? Or is it state success? Listen carefully. What does state success look like? What does state success look like? What does it sound like? What does how success look like? What does how success sound like? Does that make sense to you? As you start to think about this and as you start to dive into this, look at the project that you're currently working on. Many of you have a network marketing business. Many of you have a side gig. Many of you have a side gig and you have your primary position. You have your primary income source. What would be top-down thinking for your job? I got to go to work today. Top-down thinking might be, what can I do to become the manager today? What can I do today to become the individual who's in charge? What can I do today to be the one who runs the business? What can I do today to bring more value to the people, my direct reports? Versus, I think Sally hasn't done her work today. Does this make sense? So what's the top-down thinking that would change the way you look at things? What's the state? What's the bigger vision? What's the bigger picture? Bottom-up thinking is usually engineering in design. Get stuck in the details and trying to figure out the big solution from the ashes. Trying to start the fire from the newspaper that's sitting in the kitchen and it's nowhere near the fire pit. You've got to have some bigger vision. So what would top-down thinking look like? What would it feel like for you? I can tell you one of the things that that's surprising, that might surprise you, is that to start with top-down thinking, there's an attitude that might serve you to help you to get to your top-down thinking faster. Anyone want to type it in? Anyone want to guess what that attitude might be? What kind of attitude might serve you? Yeah, you've probably guessed it, right? It's the attitude of gratitude. See, if we're not sitting in gratitude, we can't see the big picture. Gratitude says it's already done. If you want to get into the state of mind, if you want to have a concept that's already finished, be grateful for it. Be in gratitude for it. Be grateful for the challenge. What does Jim Rohn say? Don't ask for the problem to be easier. Ask for you to get better. Jim Rohn said, don't ask for the problem to be easier. Ask for you to get better. You want to get better? Be filled with gratitude. Grateful is I'm grateful that I have this chance. Grateful is I'm still working on it. Grateful is the state. Grateful is the story. Grateful is the strategy. Gratitude is the state. It's all about state. It's always about state. Could you imagine when I met Michelle 24 years ago at an Outback in Winter Haven, Florida? I walked in, she was sitting in the bar at one of the booths in the bar. And could you imagine if I walked up and went, my mom says we're supposed to go out on a date? Well, I probably said that previously, but my mom and your dad said we should meet. We're grown-ass adults. Your mom and my dad said we should meet. So what do you want to do? Could you imagine? That wasn't, I didn't go with a bottom-up thinking. I went with top-down. I don't know. The picture of her was like, dang, Gina. There'd be no way that this girl would have ever talked to me at all. Funny thing was, though, as I wrote out my dream girl, my dream bride, my dream wife, I wrote out this ideal dream partner and nailed it 100%. The one thing I didn't put on there, some of you know this, was the voice. Michelle has a high-pitched voice. Anyway, so that's a whole nother story. That's for another inner circle conversation. That's for a conversation when you're out here at the ranch, if you want some giggles. The point is that I went with this top-down thinking. Show up, have fun, do the conversation, have the process, go through it. Funny thing is I fell in love instantly. Then I almost screwed it up. That's a whole nother story as well. My point is that when you're going for your project right now, what happens, what changes if all of a sudden today you're ranked 72 in your business, you're ranked 5 in your business, you're platinum in your business, you're executive director in your business, you're level 7 superstar in your business? What would change today? I want you to think about that right now. You have become, the company just sent you an email. This is top-down thinking. This is Calagoing. This is advancing the universe to where you want it to go to. Because right now the universe is stuck in the bottom-up thinking of the details and what kind of napkins are we going to get when we cut our finger. I want you to imagine right now, top down thinking, you're 5 levels up from where you are right now in your business. You've gotten 5 pay raises at your job. What's changed? Do you feel that in your body? All of a sudden, there's a little bit of stress and tension in your body. You feel that? You're now pro champ 7, whatever it is in your business. And now all of a sudden, you have people who are looking to you for guidance. Who did you become? Top down thinking. This isn't about what you're going to go do. This is about who you're going to be. Top down thinking, visionary. Who do you become when you're all of a sudden level 5 in your business? You're 5 ranks higher. Think about this. 5 ranks higher. What would your income be? If somebody knows it in the chat, the VIP, or you know it on Instagram, 5 levels up, what would be the average income? You want to know the funny thing? Most people don't know what the average income is of the person who's 5 ranks above them. And we wonder why we get stuck. We wonder why we get stuck. We don't know where we're going. We're telling everybody we want top-down thinking. We're telling everybody we're thinking top-down. We're telling everybody this is where I'm going. Yet we don't have the bottom-up understanding. We haven't laid out the plan. We haven't put our definite major purpose in place. We don't know how much money we're going to make when we hit that rank. We just don't know. We just don't know. So how do we expect to get there? How do we expect to have the vision if we can't have the sight? How much income are you going to make this year? Literally, how much income are you going to make this year? You will be dead on the side of the mountain working your ass off to get there. Is it $50,000 a month, a year? Is it $50,000 between now and then? Do you want to make an extra $50,000? Would that change your life? You want to make an extra $10,000? Pick a number, and let's go for it. Let's have the vision conversation. The only thing that's holding you back, is that you are getting stuck in the details and you can't catapult yourself to the next level. You can't quantum jump to the next level because you haven't thought about it. You haven't thought about it. So what do you do now? What's the conversation you have? See, the reason that so many of us, $75,000 a year, outstanding. So now that you have $75,000 a year, what are you doing different, Paul? That's the thing you've got to work on. What's the thing you're doing different? Are your credit cards kept up to date? Maybe you don't have any. Is your house payment all done? Maybe your house is paid off. Have you started donating to charities, to a children's center, to an abused women's shelter? Have you started to build a school in the South Chicago Bronx? What are you doing? What is this? What is the thing that happens? Because here's the thing. It matters not whether it's 70,000 or 700,000. There are things you can do today that reflect that number. Listen carefully. That reflects that number that you're already in harmony with it. The only thing, every one of us, myself included, the only thing that makes it difficult for us to reach our goal is that we are not in harmony with it. We are not in the vibratory state with it. Because if your vibration is going to change when you get an extra 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, it doesn't matter. If your vibration changes, if you're going to do something different, you can start the genesis of that different right now. And that's top-down thinking. A lot of people say, I'm a top-down thinker. I'm a visionary. The reality is you're a bottom-up thinker. You are stuck in bottom-up. You're stuck in it. It's wired into you. You are so wired into it, you don't even know you're thinking bottom-up. You get stuck in the how. How do I do that? How do I do that? So that's my conversation for you today. Think about where it is that you're going, and then start the genesis of every one of those benefits that you get from being up here. Start the genesis of it starts here. And how fast you can collapse that vibration, how fast you can get into that vibration, how fast you can reduce the learning curve through things like self-talk, through neuro-linguistic programming, through neuroencoding, through mental toughness, through self-talk, through hypnosis. Some of you may not know about hypnosis, but I can tell you this, you're already hypnotized. You're already hypnotized to the things that you do. You're already hypnotized. They're called habits. When your body starts to do things without you knowing it, when you brush your teeth or you drive home and you're like, I don't even remember driving home. That's a level of hypnosis. When you wake up in the morning and you do the same thing, Joe Dispenza says you get out of bed the same way you got out, you put on your slippers if you have them the same way, you walk to the bathroom the same way, you use the same bathroom, then you turn on the light to look in the mirror, and then you'll see yourself in the mirror and you go, oh, there's that guy who's crazy, there's that guy who's in anguish, there's that guy who's got problems, there's that guy who's troubled. And then before you go have your cup of coffee or your cup of tea or your Kangen water, and you drink all of this stuff and you do it the same way and you stand the same way. And then you go, okay, I got to get ready for the day. And there's no new thoughts. There's nothing new. There's no quantum leap. There's no quantum leap that says, hey, it's time for you to get going. It's time for you to make a change. It's time for you to sit in gratitude. That's why most people, when they wake up, they spend the first 20, 30 minutes just in the theta state, awakening and becoming awaring of the universe, becoming aware of the things around them. I'm awaring when I'm in that theta state. I'm listening to the thoughts, to the dreams that just slipped through my mind and gave me some new ideas. And then meditate for 2 hours. Most people will meditate in the morning to start their day. Some of us hit the snooze button 75 times, and we try to get up and we set the alarm so we can hit the snooze button. It's the craziest thing ever. I want to get up at 6, but I'm going to set the alarm at 5:40 so that I can sleep for an extra 10 minutes, because my snooze is 10 minutes and I get to hit it twice. It's the dumbest thing ever. It is the dumbest thing ever. Period. End of story. Just saying. So there's my conversation for the day. Picture and imagine, look at your conversations, look at the dialogues that you have, look at the things that you're doing this morning, and then find out, what is it that you're doing? Is it bottom up or top down thinking? This conversation powered by Keto Up. Have an amazing keto brain day. I am your head brain training misfit. I will see you all where? Fire your head, hire your heart, contact mapping. I'll see you where? At the next event. Till then, bye for now. Hey, everybody. I hope this is amazing. So, Daniela, are you there, or Erica? Because my only thing is that I'm going to make one of you the host to see if you can ask me to turn on my camera. Because as the host right now, I don't even have the camera as an option. Hide self view. Oh, I'm still on YouTube. Hey, YouTube. Thank you. I love it. Tell me I wasn't distracted. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. I love you tons. And sorry that